Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time again. Time for the end of day post wave report of yours truly, the Algo Capitalist, aka the Vulcan, coming to you live from PulseWaveTrading.com, home of the world famous post wave price trigger reports. What an interesting day we've had. The markets are just confused. The volatility is off the chain. Everybody wants to know, where do you go from here? Well, let me tell you, I believe that these are very exciting times for the market, regardless of what's happening in the global economy. There will be an enormous amount of money to be made on both the long and the short side of just about every market that we will be covering today. So get ready and take notes. If you miss something, you can always watch restart the video at the end. We're going to be going over a numerous amount of securities. We have forex, we got crypto, we got stocks, we got futures. So chances are you're going to see some information today that's going to probably change your perspective. All right, so let's get right into this. I have to tell you, man, these last couple of weeks have been very busy for me. I've been living in the lab. I've been working on these pulse waves and bringing you guys some just amazing information. I've been able to do some things, and I'm really, really pumped. I'm really excited going forward. You guys are going to start seeing a difference starting tonight. All of the PulseWave subscribers, you probably won't notice a thing, but you will start to notice it in your wallet. Remember where I told you that a very, very large algo shift was underway on pretty much across the board, just about every market? Remember where I told you guys that going back a little ways? And I said that I believe that this new algo shift was going to be very long lasting, and some could last months or even years. Well, it looks like I was right, and some of these things are starting to move into alignment. Ladies and gentlemen, these are very exciting times to be involved in the markets. And those of you who are killing it with the pulse waves, we're going to see if we can make that exponential starting tonight into tomorrow. I think you will begin to see that because of the nature of the markets right now and what's been driving the markets and what's behind a lot of the movements you've been seeing in these markets. Remember, I used to get paid to do this when I was doing the Wall Street thing. That's what I did. I designed systems to extract money from financial markets for very high-end, well-to-do clients. That was my job. They came to me specifically saying, I need to do thus and sus in which market. Can you help me out? That's what I did. I did it for them, and now I'm doing it for you. All right, so using all of my experience, skills, and know-how, that is what we have to you today, which is the PulseWave Price Trigger Reports. That is my magnum opus. It's been a 20-year plus project in the making, and I'm just really glad that I'm able to help so many people from all around the world with these reports. And these reports are about to get that much more banging, if that is even possible. So strap in and get ready, because we're about to have a lot of fun. Okay, first and foremost, let's take a look here at the Macy's chart. So as you can see here, Macy's has been in a bull market. You see the little bull in the bottom right-hand side of the corner. You see the bullish indication right here at the bottom. And then you look at the price action, take a look at the chart. All right, so This market is trying to decide what it wants to do. It has a few things pulling at it right now. Let's take a look. First of all, Macy's has this massive bullish pointer right here. So we know at some point price action will rise to the occasion. The test will be, can it take it out, which is more normative, or will it fail? Failures are key indicators in and of themselves because it marks this as being your top. And then the markets roll over and the rest is history. In this situation, though, you have a couple of things. You don't just have the bullish pointer, you have this bearish pointer that you just did as well the other day. All right, and it's pointing you toward the trend line support. So it's looking like, since we have a crash alert for tomorrow's trading, that the market wants to go down here and put in the test of the trend line support before heading north and taking out the bullish pointer. So for right now, we got to go with the bearish call for a pullback here toward the trend line support. And then immediately after that, upon a successful test of the support, the market should start to ratchet up and take out this bullish pointer. All right, so that is what's going on here. Oh, by the way, everyone in the live stream, what up? Smash that like button for me. I want to say what up to DeFuentes and Tom and Albert and Darren and my man Follow the Way, Antonio, Max, B-Dub, gentlemen, Benet, everybody. What up? Thank you. Smash that like button. Now, I see your comments too. You want to know my thoughts on the outage of the Interbank payment system. To be quite honest with you, I did not hear about that until later on in the day because, like I told you, I've been in the lab like real heavy. So I really haven't been paying attention to too many things, just focusing on getting done what I needed to get done in the lab. But I did see it. I did see it. Didn't have a chance to really dig in, but I did see it come across my screen in that situation. So I don't know. I don't know what that happened. I don't know any details. I will look into it. Hopefully I'll get a chance to do it for tomorrow's morning PulseWave report, because hopefully they'll have some more information out by then. But I don't know anything about it. I have no idea. But I will be looking into it. I did see it come across my desk, so I will, Lord willing, have some time to take a quick look, and then I'll let you know my my thoughts on it once I have more information. And the other question I see, you want to know which cryptos do I think is overrated or underrated? I'm gonna be honest with you, man. The crypto markets to me are like futures and forex. There's really no such a thing. Cryptos are such a new and unique specimen, and they're so exciting with the volatility and all of that. At this stage of the game, I don't even know if that's a fair assessment to say something's undervalued or overvalued. Because when we talk about valuations, the sky is the limit on the long side of the trade. However, zero is as far as you can go to the bottom. So the argument is always going to be, how do you decide if a price is too high? How do you know? And there's really no such thing. You don't know. Because if we use that argument, then the Dow would still be at 500. Not over 30,000, but it would be at 500. Okay? So ask a dude 50 years ago how he feels about the Dow at that time being at 500. He probably could have made an argument that it was overvalued at 500. Ask that same individual today what he thinks about the Dow. He'd be rolling over in his grave. All right? Dow at 30,000. Remember, you said it was overbought at 500. It's at 30,000 today. What do you think now? You know what I'm saying? So it just depends on your perspective. And, that really, at the end of the day, that's what it is. I'm all about price action. I don't care about fundamentals in as much as, earnings per share on a stock, who the CEO is. I don't even care what the stock manufactures. I don't care what the business model is. I don't care about any of that stuff. All I care about is the price. Price tells me what I need to know. Is this a market that I should be shorting today, or is it a market I should be going buying today? All I care about is on which side of the market is there money to be made today? Is it on the long side? Is it on the short side? Or is it on both sides? Or neither? That's what I want to know. And as a trader, that's how you approach every market. You say, is it a long trade, a short trade, both long and short trade, or neither? Meaning step aside. Those are your choices. Those are your 4 choices. And you have to decide that for yourself. Fortunately, we have the pulse waves that help you make those determinations. So that way you have a better opportunity to be on the right side of the market. So when these moves do occur, you're able to get in and you're able to ride them. All right, moving along. As far as Harry Dent, man, isn't he like the Uber bear, the perma bear? You know, a broken clock is right, you know, what they say, twice a day, whatever. So, I mean, at some point, yeah. Now, I covered that this morning. I told you, I believe, you know, what's happening is not organic. It's been done on purpose. So that really doesn't count per se. You could say that about Enron back in the day. You could have said that about WorldCom or Tyco back in the day. But saying that now is kind of disingenuous because the deck is already stacked and you already know what side is on. All right, next up, we're going to look at bonds. Look at the TLT. Now, I warned you guys about these bonds. Didn't I say it looks like the market was preparing for another gap lower even when we were right here? I told you that. Look at that. Look at that. And this is not even the bond futures. This is the TLT, the ETF. Look at this thing plummet. And it's still cheap. Now, the TLT fell into the 130s today, while the futures are still in the 160s. I think it was 160, maybe it's 158 or 157 now, but it was about 160 this morning. All right, on the future. So that's still expensive. Remember, when I started out, all right, when I first got my securities license, all right, when I became an associated person, bonds were trading below par. For those that don't know, par is below 100. You were like 93, 94, 95, 96 in those long bonds. So, yeah, this is scary if you are one of those individuals who will be keenly affected by higher interest rates. Everyone is affected by higher interest rates to some degree, but some more than others. This chart should scare you to death. You dig what I'm saying? If you were in the market to, you know, refinance a home, buy a home, this chart should scare you, especially if you were using a floating rate or if you have an arm. If you have an arm on your mortgage, this right here should scare you to death. Really, I don't think anyone even has those anymore, but just in case you do, this right here should frighten you to death because that rate is about to go through the roof. So get ready for that. All right, JNUG. Let's see what the GDXJ is looking like. All right, so JNUG is flip-flopping after you came down here. You put in this low. So now you came up here and filled the gap. Then you got a crash alert, no production. Then you got a rally alert for tomorrow now. The top of the, right here, this overhead trend line resistance is your initial target around the 105 level, like I told you the other day. So this is what you're seeing the markets play out to the analysis I gave you 2 days ago. Now, last night I wasn't able to do an end-of-day report, but as you can see here from the other day, what I told you, this is what's happening. The market is attempting to make that happen. All right, next up is IVR Mortgage. I'm sorry, this is, IVR Investco Mortgage Capital. Okay. So this one here, as you can see, here was the last rally alert, and this is all the upside production that you have received thus far pertaining to said rally alert. And this market is looking like it wants to take out the previous highs. I think this thing could be maybe an $8 stock if it gets its act together. Let's see what happens. All right, next up, we got the E-mini S&P 500 futures. Okay, so as you can see here, the bears had it. Here was your crash alert. Here's that downside production. We made a bearish pointer. Then the market reverses course and rallies today into a resistance area. The question is this a head fake? Is this a bull trap? Excuse me, as the market preparing to sell off and take out the pointer and take all the bulls with it? That's a very good question. Technically speaking, even though the market rallied the way it did today, technically speaking, the bears are still in control of this one. And this market has the threat hanging over its head that we could pull back. Yep. How about gold futures? Let's take a look at that. All right, so the bulls are now in control, excuse me, of gold. You see that we put in that low right here. And now the market's trying to come up and get to that overhead trend line resistance. And that's around the 1840 level. So we'll see if the bulls can really wrestle control back, or are the bears just waiting in the shadows for this thing to get up here near the resistance and then hammer it back down again. That's going to be very interesting to see. What about the Nasdaq 100? Well, technically speaking, it really didn't play ball today like the other indices. It wasn't as strong, but nevertheless, we set up for a rally alert tomorrow, which is what I assumed we were going to do because the Nasdaq was the laggard. So the Nasdaq here is setting itself up to have a big run and try to get itself to 14,000. So the Nasdaq could be that that one piece of the puzzle that could sustain the market rally overall. Let's see. What about crude oil? Well, I told you $65 was my initial target for crude oil, and here we are smiling at it right now. So this one here, the bulls are doing it. Here is your rally alert here, and here's your upside production. You be the judge. Moving on, the Russell My Hustle. The Russell My Hustle also really didn't gather the upward momentum that you would have hoped. Here was the rally alert, and finally you get that upside production finally today. But again, it hit the resistance and just stopped. It just stopped right at the resistance zone. So that's making you think that it is done. It doesn't have anything else left in the tank, so to speak. But we'll see. It may just be doing a slow grind. So I'm thinking it's probably going to try to eke it out a little bit. We'll see. Now, silver just had contract rollover. We're now in, what is, I think, April. All right, so we're no longer in the March. No, actually, no. I think we're in the May contract. Let me just double check. I don't want to say nothing wrong. I think it's May, though. Let me just see. I do believe is the May contract. Let's see. Silver. Yep, we're in May now. Silver is now in May. So we flipped from March to May on the silver futures, okay? Just FYI. All right, so as you can see here, this market is really not going anywhere. It's just trading in a $3 trading range. All right, you're trading inside of this bar right here. This is your trading range for silver that's been established. And as you can see, this is where your price action has been respecting and closing in. We have not gotten out of the range. You had a crash alert coming into today. No downside production. And now that the open interest has switched from March to May, we'll see what can happen. But right now, technically speaking, the way this market is looking, bears have wrestled back control of silver. How about your Dow Jones? This was another interesting one today, too. So here is the rally alert, and you've had nothing but upside production, then an explosive upside production today. So you're flip-flopping around here now. What is going to be? I don't know. I think we got another flip-flop coming. I don't know if this rally is going to sustain. You're flirting with 32,000 in a Dow. I don't know. This doesn't have a whole lot of momentum behind it per se. But then again, this could just be the beginning of the move. So I don't know. We're at an interesting crossroad in the stock indexes. All right, this next one is BBOZ, Beta Shares Australian Equity Strong Bear Hedge. We got a crash alert for tomorrow's trading on this one, so watch out on that one. All right, next up, we got the Australian dollar. Let's take a look at the Australian dollar. As you can see here, here's your rally alert. Here's all your upside production. And this one is just running. And it doesn't look like it's going to be pulling back anytime soon. We shall see. And what about the mighty Bitcoin Futures Composite Index? A lot of volatility, a lot of swinging around, but we haven't gone anywhere. As you can see here, here was this crash alert. You got this downside production, and now you have a rally alert for tonight into tomorrow's trading. But I think 55,000 is going to be a intraday price inflection resistance point, and then the market will probably head back down yet again. So heads up for you Bitcoin traders. Follow the report, man. Follow the report. Canadian dollar, as you can see, is looking like the bond market. Canadian dollar is looking exactly, almost identical to the long U.S. bond, the TLT, or the bond futures. We just put in another leg lower. The bears have been in complete control of this market for months now, and it doesn't seem to be letting up. And at this rate, it's looking like the Canadian dollar could go below par. All right, next up, we have the euro dollar, which is also falling off. As you can see here, bears are still in control. Every rally, it seems to be getting sold off. And now we're bumping ahead right here at the top of the Kumo cloud. I think that we're getting to a breaking point. Either it's going to eventually break out or it's going to break down. We shall see, but a break is coming nonetheless. All right, moving right along. Next up, we got Dash. All right, so here is your Dash. You got a rally alert for tonight into tomorrow's trading. And this one, technically speaking, is now just moving sideways in the trading range, which is going from the bottom of the range to the top. So now we put in the bottom. I think now it's ready to go test the top of the range again. All right, here is your Ethereum. Ethereum has a rally alert for tonight into tomorrow's trading. Nice little successful test of the trend line support. Now it looks like it may be ready to test overhead resistance. Next up, we have Chainlink. Let's pull this one up. All right, Chainlink has a rally alert for tonight into tomorrow's trading as bulls are trying to wrestle back control of this market and get it trending again. Next up, we got Litecoin. As you can see here, Litecoin has a rally alert for tonight into tomorrow's trading. So definitely want to be alert going into that one. Next up, we got XRP Ripple rally alert for tonight into tomorrow's trading, as this one's going to try to get over the top of the Kumo cloud. Next up, we got is Twitter. Here is Twitter. The ticker is TWTR. So we had a rally alert coming into today. We got no upside production. Now the market is flip-flopped to a crash alert for tomorrow's trading. So look out, because down here, the trend line support area is around the $57 handle. And here we are closing out today at $71.92. Ouch, that's a heck of a drop. So be forewarned. Next up, we got SVL, Silver Mines, traded on the ASX. And we had a crash alert coming into today's trading, but we got no downside production. But however, the market is still under the auspices of a crash alert. So definitely look out for possible selling off tomorrow in that one. Next up, we got WRM, White Rock. This is also on the ASX. As you can see here, we had a crash alert coming into today. We got that downside production. I think the trend line support is going to be the initial target on this down move. Next up, you have Ford Motor Company. Here is Ford Motor Company. So Ford had a reversal of fortune. We had a rally alert here, got initial upside production. Then a run of week longs. They ran the intraday stops on the week longs. If you're a PulseWave subscriber, you laughed at that because you did not get stopped out. And then the market reversed and rallied hard today. So right now, bulls have complete control of Ford. And I think they're going to try to take it maybe to $15 if they can get enough momentum behind it. We shall see. Next up, we have AMC. All right, AMC. So here is the rally alert, and here's the 3 straight days of upside production. Is it done? No, I think this is going to try to get as close to $11 a share it can get, because that's around where the overhead resistance is going to be at. So I think it's on its way to do that. So if you're a trader in this one, if you're long this one from the pulse waves, definitely start popping your way through it. All right, and don't turn a winning trade into a losing trade there. All right, Facebook has been also trading in a extraordinarily wide trading range, and you're just going up and down, up and down, up and down. So the sell-off, the last crash alert was back here. You got all this downside production. Now the market came into the day with a rally alert, but we got no upside production. So this was day one of the rally alert. So we'll see if tomorrow the bulls can make it happen and try to get up to the trend line resistance or to the top of the Kumo cloud. This is another interesting one. The bulls need to really hold the line this time, because every rally is getting sold off. Every rally, ladies and gentlemen. Next up, we got Tesla. Let's take a look at the mighty Tesla. So we had a crash alert on Tesla back here. We got all this downside production. Now the market has switched gears and has a rally alert for tomorrow's trading. Notice how the market respected the overhead trend line resistance. Stopped right on it to the penny. You can't make this stuff up. This is just how these markets move. So now that you're at resistance, the target for this move now should be the top of the Kumo cloud. So let's see if this one can get closer to the $800 mark, or are the bears going to come in and smack it down, or they're just waiting for it to enter into this resistance zone before they pile on again. Definitely follow the reports on that one. All right, last but not least, Gamestop. Let's take a look at Gamestop. So remember I told you that here's this overhead gap that needs to be filled. Looks like the market is trying to attempt to do that right now, as this thing has rallied from that $50 mark to $91. And it's going to try to come in here and fill this gap, I believe. So definitely need to look and see what's going to happen with that. I do not know. I do not know. I do not know. Will they have enough momentum behind it, or is it too far gone? I know that a lot of people have been talking about putting a lot of money behind this, so we should see what happens on that one. All right, so let's see here. I got time for one more. All right, this one is MAC, MAC, and it looks like it's a REIT. Has a rally alert, and we've been getting the upside production, but failing to break out of the top of the Kumo cloud. If it can do it, $15 is going to be the initial target on this one, and if it can get over that hump, then ultimately the bullish pointer is where this one is going to be headed to try to take out. That's where it wants to try to get to. All right, I see your request there. Let me see if I even have that on my layout. Let's see. I don't really trade the platinum and the palladium because they're so thinly traded, but let me pull up the platinum futures for you right quick. All right, so what just happened? Oh, shoot. I hit the wrong button and it's repopulating all the charts that I just finished talking to you about. So that is a pain, but no worries. We'll get it going. All right, here's your platinum. See how thinly traded the market is? It's your platinum futures. So the market had this crash alert here. We did get all the way down and dip down. Now there's a rally alert for tonight into tomorrow's trading on platinum. So right now it's looking like the bulls have wrestled control back of the platinum. All right, so that's a wrap. All right, smash that like button. You know what it is. Remember, PulseWaveTrading.com. You know you need these tools so that you can make money in these markets and not get your face completely ripped off. All right, don't get decapitated. Don't go it alone. You need these pulse waves. These markets are all algo driven now. You got machines and robots that are competing against you. If you want to take the machine's money, then you need to come on over here so you can get this money, because that's what we do. All right. Remember, bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. So remember to take what you can and give nothing back. And I'm out. Peace.